Welcome to physics. This is going to be chapter 1, section 1, what is physics? This is the schedule for the unit 1, the science of physics. You'll notice we start on Monday the 21st of September and we end up with the unit test on October 7th and 8th. Block B class will have it on the 7th and Block A class will have it on the 8th. We are going to talk about the topics of physics, scientific methods, and finally scientific models. I want you to make sure you watch this video prior to coming to class on Monday or Tuesday. The other videos are there to help you. Those are optional. And I want you to complete the vocabulary activity prior to coming to class. The learning targets for this class, for this section, are I can identify activities and fields that involve major areas within physics. I can describe the process of the scientific methods, and I can describe the role of models and diagrams in physics. Physics comes from the ancient Greek physike, knowledge of nature. Physics is the study of the nature and properties of matter and energy. It includes mechanics, heat, light, and other radiation, sound, electricity, magnetism, and finally the structure of the atom. General areas include mechanics, which is motion and its causes. On the left you see the Earth rotating from west to east, and on the right you see a small picture of Sir Isaac Newton with an apple hitting him in the head. Thermodynamics is heat and temperature. On the left are the three temperature scales, Kelvin, Celsius, and Fahrenheit, and on the right in the small picture you see the effect of having a cloudy day versus a sunny day on the temperature on the human. Vibrations and wave phenomena are another subgroup from physics. On the left you have a transverse wave and a longitudinal wave. On the right you have a simple vibration. Optics is another example of a subgroup. It includes light. On the left you have white light passing through a prism and breaking it up into its various wave components. On the right is a fiber optic, which allows light to pass through the fiber optic from one end to the other without being exposed outside. Electromagnetism is electricity, magnetism, and light. On the left is the electromagnetic spectrum, ranging from radio waves on the left to gamma rays on the right. Below is a magnet and a nail that has wires wrapped around it attached to a battery. Relativity is best known from Einstein. Particles moving at any speed, include very high speeds, are sent through the accelerometer. Quantum mechanics is the behavior of submicroscopic particles. This focuses on chemistry. On the left you see the model of an atom, starting with Dalton in the late or early 1800s, all the way up to Schrödinger in the 1920s. Scientific method is typically shown as a line going down, with first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step, sixth step, and then back, depending on whether it's proven or not. It is a method of procedure that has characterized natural science since the 17th century, consisting in systematic observations, measurements, and experiments, and the formulation, testing, and modification of a hypothesis. Scientific methods, as we discovered in the movie Awakenings, is not quite as simple as the image shown before. They're more back and forth, and there are arrows going all over the place. Comparing this going straight up and down to this, you'll notice that this is a much more complicated illustration of what science actually is. And finally, you have scientific models. A scientific model is a small replica of something that has to do with science. The model has to have every detail right so people can understand what your model is about without you having to explain it verbally. The image on top is a good example of a scientific model. It represents the planets orbiting the Sun in our solar system. This is the end of the notes. Make sure you go over the notes. Listen to any additional notes that you need to look at on my website, and make sure you complete the vocabulary activity.